with a Band-Aid holding them together. Was playing that guitar, and I was like, oh Lord, what am I gonna do? Because I had been praying, please, I need this gig, please, Lord, give me this gig. And then I got there and I realized, oh, please, Lord, you're gonna have to forgive me in advance, because I have like 2 things. Please give me the gig, and then please forgive me, because I'm gonna steal the guitar player. So luckily that did not have to happen, because in 2 months the band sort of fizzled out on its own, and we decided to be a duo and go get some gigs while we were putting together our own band. And now it's almost 35 years later.
Yeah! Woo!
33 years married in October.
You go, girl!
My personal genius. He is wise, kind, gentle, exhilarating, exasperating. He can make you mad, he can make you glad. He's a handyman. He is really, really, really compassionate and kind. I call him the Mighty T. So please put your hands together for the love of my life. Tug Andrew.
Yeah, Tug! Woo! Go, man!
Thank you. One thing that Patti, I think, didn't say in that story is that that she and I both simultaneously knew during the first few seconds of the first and only song that we played together in the audition, because we immediately stopped. The band just stopped immediately and said, please, please sing with us. But one thing Patti didn't mention was that during those first few seconds, she and I both realized independently that we'd found a lifetime collaborator. And we went off and told our friends that. We didn't tell each other immediately. We went off and told our friends, and many of whom weren't surprised because they'd been trying to get us together for a long time. And then later we told each other and became best friends. And we kind of recommend that. If you decide you want to get married to somebody, especially somebody you work with, you might want to become best friends first. Just a word to the wise. Anyway, Patti used about 10 different adjectives just now to describe me. And she said them rather quickly, so I had no time to catalog them because they're different every night. She has an enormous where I'm concerned, I've discovered. So I won't actually attempt to respond to any of those or even question the meaning of some of them. But I will play this next song. And I guess before I do it, it's become, I don't know if it's my duty, but it certainly seems to be my role to be pitch man. And I'm pretty shameless when it comes to pitching things to sell, it turns out. Well suited for it. So in case it hadn't occurred to you that when the show ends, you'll have the option to go buy some Tug and Patti kind of product, then it's my job now to make sure.
Yeah.
I stand one of the more attractive ones. And I particularly should mention it because if you go out there, you won't see anything like T-shirts or CDs or anything like that, anything kind of conventional. But what we did this time, it's kind of an experiment we've been doing. It was Patti's idea. Rather than bring all the CDs, which are getting increasingly difficult to find, by the way, we've actually had to buy some of our CDs on eBay. And there's an extremely mixed incentive, by the way, when you do that, because on the one hand, pride makes you want the bidding to go up very high. The whole point of the exercise is to buy cheap and sell high. That's all you have to do. So that's a different incentive. And anyway, we've done it a time or two, embarrassingly enough. And because it's hard to actually figure out which record company owns which record company these days, and to figure out whom you're supposed to call to order CDs. So anyway, Patti's idea for a kind of temporary workaround was, since we actually have the masters to everything, let's just get some little USB flash drives and transfer the CD masters of everything onto one of these flash drives and sell it to people like you. As you can imagine, shipping weight is very low. And so we went out and bought some of these flash drives, and that's just what we did. And of course, the problem with pitching this to you is that part of the reason you're here is that you found out that we were playing probably, at least in many cases. And those of you who were motivated to come might very well already have some or many of the CDs, which you'd be buying the identical thing on the USB drive. So if you've already got a lot of the CDs, and especially if you have everything, including the Japanese bonus tracks, for example, or the double live CD that was never released in the United States, you have a USB drive at all. But if you lack some of those things and you want to, then you can buy those. We'd be glad to autograph them, but it's kind of a challenge to post it. Anyway, we'll work on that together. So there's some of those out there. And I should mention, before I went out and bought them, I had to kind of guesstimate how much storage capacity we needed. And I guess, I don't know if the word is over-guesstimate, but I did over-guesstimate quite a bit. And so, as a result, there's right around 7 gigabytes of blank space on here. So, kind of extra incentive. For example, if you were to go out on the open market and price 7 gigabytes of storage, well, you won't find it anywhere. You can't buy that. So that's just a bonus that we give you because of that. Anyway, the next song, needless to say, is on the USB drive because it's one week at one time released. And I'm not sure, there may be a live version, but there may not be. And that brings up one other thing. In case you do buy one of these USB drives, be sure to sign up on a sheet which I rather carefully worded saying, I bought a USB drive. And be sure to give us your email address because if it turns out, for example, that we discover something we left out, we are really committed to, at some point, emailing it to you at some very unspecified point. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to let you know that. Anyway, I'll play the next song. This is one of my favorite songs to play. And having never been here, I've never played it here before. But I'm happy to be here, and we had such a wonderful sound check, and it sounded so beautiful that I'm going to take advantage of it and play a song that's really a very beautiful song, properly played. And that's what we'll be hoping for. And so that's obviously my job. It's not your fault if I don't. But plan on that happening. Anyway, it's a kind of universal song. In fact, it came from a movie, and I understand, I just heard on television the other day, that this movie is the most watched movie in history by human beings, of which most of you qualify. You know this song just as well as I do. It's just that you don't play it on the guitar necessarily. And what may have moved you about this song would have been the lyrics, just as they moved me when I was a 4-year-old kid, because the movie comes on every year, and we've all seen it. So I learned it when I was 4, not to play, but the lyrics spoke to my little 4-year-old heart so directly and so unclearly, it turned out. I had no idea what they were saying to me, but later I realized that whatever I thought was not it. But shortly after getting any kind of grasp of the lyrics, I started playing the guitar, and so I definitely had to work out a version of this song. And so in the process of working out my arrangement of this song way back then, I basically killed the lyrics, just as one does when one dissects something. And so for me, the lyrics have taken on a kind of dead quality. I love the song even more than I did then. And the payoff is that I'll play it a lot better than if I never worked out a version and got up here and started playing. But for you, the lyrics may be beautifully alive, and you may even have an emotional experience when you don't hear them sung right now. In fact, you may even feel compelled to sing along. And if you do, I just want to be sure that you realize that don't do it. That's not what, in many ways, this experience could fork, but that's not one of the forks we're going to take. Sing along inwardly, if you like, in a kind of silent fashion, because that'll be more moving for you. And of course, that's my goal. Anyway, I won't be thinking about the lyrics at all. I'll be the one person in the room probably who doesn't think about the lyrics. And so we're all going to have some kind of experience if that's what happens. So we'll have, I guess, we'll have what I like to think of as a narrowly missed shared experience. And that's probably not a bad thing. We're not sure if it gets any better than that. And so we should celebrate the possibility that that may or may not happen during the experience. Anyway, at the end, we're not going to talk about it. It's over. And we've talked about it enough now from now on. So I'll go ahead and play the song. song. I hope you enjoy it. It's from The Wizard of Oz, and it is called Over the Rainbow. Thank you very much.
Oh my